CNN just stunned Donald Trump with some devastating news that hits him right where he lives. And I have that and much, much more for you next on something I call
Trending.
I will have that CNN bombshell dropped on Trump in just a minute, and a moment where one of Trump's cabinet members is confronted on the program's State of the Union, and the host lets him squirm off the hook. But first, let's have a look at a prominent Republican remarking on the gift that Trump has handed the Democrats, and he sounds the alarm on a very big problem that is looming. Enter Christie on ABC's This Week.
The Medicaid changes that he's put into place give the Democrats a message when they didn't have one. They've been scrambling around trying to find a message. Now they got one, and he handed it to them. And we'll see how effective it's going to be. I think it can be very effective. And secondly, you saw with the last interview you had, tariffs. Look, he's got a choice to make come July 9th. We're only 3 days away. Does he reimpose tariffs, which I think will have enormous harm to the economy, or does he look like he chickened out again? He'll hate that. And so I think he's going to try to thread the needle somehow. And you saw some of the groundwork being laid by the Council of Economic Advisors chairman. Well, if they're making progress, we'll give them some more time. The fact is, he knows his tariff policy is awful. It's awful for the economy. It's awful for America's standing in the world, George. And last point is this. You can't have it both ways. Either you're going to have to do real harm to our economy with these tariffs to get some of the revenue they're saying will reduce debt, or you have to get rid of the tariffs, and you don't get the revenue either.
Trump has handed the Democrats a gift. Let's hope they don't fumble it. And speaking of fumbling, State of the Union hosted Scott Bessent, Trump's Secretary of Treasury, and Dana Bash confronted him on the 90 days and 90 deals promise. Have a look, and on the other side, I'll share why I think she fumbled the response, and then I'll share the bombshell that was dropped on Trump today.
When you talk about these letters and you talk about kind of the 90 deals in 90 days, or at least the president did back in April. So far we've seen 3, and they're not concrete deals the way that we're used to seeing trade deals. They're frameworks. Mm-hmm. The president has a reputation, self-described deal maker. So why haven't we seen the kind of deals that he promised in the last 90 days?
Again, he didn't promise this, and when we send out the 100 letters to these countries, that will set their tariff rate. So we're going to have 100 done in the next few days. And
but that's not a deal, that's a threat.
No, that's the level. That's the deal.
The reason Bessent was able to squirm out of that confrontation was, technically, Trump did not say 90 deals in 90 days. It was the architect of the tariff plan advisor, Peter Navarro.
So we're going to run 90 deals in 90 days.
And if she had gotten it right, Bessent would have had to answer for their folly. And now for the bombshell that I promised that hits Trump where he lives, and that is public approval. Watch as CNN's Harry Enton puts the ego of the narcissist in chief in check with this devastating report.
I'll give you some adjectives. How about awful, horrible, and to quote our dear friend Mr. Sir Charles Barkley, terrible, terrible, terrible. What are we talking about here? Well, why don't we take a look at the big, beautiful bill? I got five, not just 4, 5 different polls across the screen for you. This is the net favorable rating. The highest rating comes from the Washington Post at minus 19 points. How about Pew, minus 20 points? How about Fox, minus 21? Quinnipiac, minus 26. And KFF takes the cake at minus 29 points. When you have a bill whose net favorable rating ranges from minus 19 points, which is already terrible, all the way to minus 29 points, the bottom line is the American people don't see this as a big, beautiful bill. They see it as a big, bad bill. They hate it, hate it, hate it. They think it's awful, awful, awful.
All right. Has it become less popular or more popular as Americans start learning about the details in this bill?
Yeah, I think a lot of Republicans have been trying to argue the more that Americans get to know about this bill, the more they'll like it. Ain't the case. Let's take a look here. Quinnipiac University polled it at early June and late June. The big, beautiful bill, the net favorable rating. You look here, should be at 26, minus 26 points in early June. How about in late June? Look at this, minus 26 points. So the more they get to know about this bill, the less they, in fact, don't think it's a good idea. They think it's just as bad in early June as they think it was in late June. So the more they get to know this bill, they hate it just the same. And I'll point out the favorable rating among independents, minus 45 points. Just terrible.
That's a huge number, minus 45. What is it that makes it so unpopular?
What is it? What is it that makes it so unpopular? Donald Trump got elected to a second term because people look back at his first term and they said, you know, we thought his first term agenda helped our family. You see this here, Trump's policies in your family. Trump's first term agenda, 44% said it helped their family, compared to 31% who said hurt. But look at the big, beautiful bill. Look at this. Just 23% of Americans say that the big, beautiful bill helps their family, compared to 49% who says it hurts their family. No wonder they hate this bill. Folks elected Donald Trump to a second term because they wanted him and his policies to help their family, but they think the big, beautiful bill does the exact opposite of that. They think it hurts their family.
It is pretty clear what the polling is saying this morning.
Let's review. Christie, among others, is saying that Trump is serving up a gift to Democrats, a message they can rally behind and hopefully take back some seats during the midterm elections. We'll see. Democrats have lost so many significant battles to the party of Trump, but we can hope that this gift is so perfectly packaged that even if dropped, it will be delivered. Next, Scott Bessent was sent to multiple morning news programs today to run interference for Trump. It's obvious that Trump didn't have all the cards like he thought, and you can expect more denials, spinning, and claims of victories that just don't exist per the Trump playbook. And finally is the unpopularity of Trump's big, beautiful bill as measured by CNN. But watch as Donald Trump tells another story from his alternative universe.
Say what it is, because it's the most popular bill ever signed in the history of our country. Whether you're military or anybody else, this is the most popular bill ever signed.
Let's say what it is. The single biggest liar in American history. Whether you're military or anybody else, the single biggest liar.